Hi, I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and today I want to talk a little bit about the Shubb partial capos. There's the C7, which I have on the guitar right now, which covers 3 of the inside strings. You can choose which way you put it on, as well as the C8, which covers 5 of the strings, most typically the 5 top strings, leaving the bass string free. Both of these are very cool creative tools that sort of mimic playing in alternate tunings, and find that they can really open up some very creative ideas. So I remember exactly when I first became aware of partial capos. It was at a workshop that fingerstyle guitarist Chris Proctor was giving back when he was doing Taylor guitar workshops almost 30 years ago, and he had this same exact setup with the capo that really mimics DADGAD tuning by covering the 5th, 4th, and 3rd string at the 2nd fret. You get the same intervals that you would get with DADGAD. I went home that night. This is before Shubb offered one of these, or before anyone offered a capo like this, and I did exactly what Chris had done. I still have the capo, and I cut down a regular Shubb and kind of created a little customized padding on here that added a little bit of rubber and some heat shrink tubing, and this served me well for many years. Of course, a short time later, Shubb came out with the dedicated partial capos, which makes this much easier. You don't have to take a hacksaw to a standard capo and make your own. So let's talk a little bit about this particular arrangement. If I'm playing my strings open, I should add that my guitar is in standard tuning to begin with. Putting the capo on the way that I just described at the 2nd fret, covering just the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings, and I'm left with this sound. My notes now capoed are E, B, E, A, B, E, and that's the same exact intervals as if I was in DADGAD tuning with a capo at the 2nd fret. So I'm getting a lot of the same tonalities as I would with an open tuning. It's a great introduction to playing in open tunings with those kind of sounds. But the neat thing is, all my standard chords and bar chords still work because I haven't actually shifted the way the guitar is tuned. Big fat D chord, C chord, G chord, all as if I was playing in standard tuning, because the guitar technically is still in standard tuning. I can play bar chords all over the neck. Everything still works. If I was doing that in alternate tunings, I'd get some sounds that sometimes work and sometimes don't. So some really great creative options that happen with that. You heard me do a little bit of fingerstyle playing with this. I think also when you're strumming with a pick, there's some really great kind of open string possibilities that you can create with this without leaving a lot of familiar territory. For example, if I'm playing something in an A minor shape with this, which now is technically a B minor. So it's almost like a hybrid of an alternate tuning sound and a standard tuning sound. And of course, if you're playing lead, everything still works up and down the fingerboard. Every closed position, shape, whether it's scales or chord. Particularly this large, I think of it as a D sound because I'm so used to playing in DADGAD. But of course, this would be like a big E chord. It's a very different and much more open and rich sound than you would get just playing in standard tuning. Now, of course, there's all kinds of creative ways people use these capos. The other common way to place these is on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string, which of course mimics an A major chord. Another great sound, and this is one of so many different examples. Some people combine these with a second capo. If you want to have a higher tonality, you might put a standard capo on one fret, put this a couple frets up above to get the same effect that I was just demonstrating in a higher key. Some people space them differently to just get different combinations of strings, and it's just a super fun, easy to use tool that can really open up some sounds and create some voicings and options that would be difficult to get either in alternate tuning or in standard tuning. So as I mentioned, the other partial capo available from Shubb is the C8, and that is designed to cover the top 5 strings or the bottom 5 strings. You could do it like this as well. Most people use it with the top 5 strings, which then simulates a similar effect to as if you were playing in drop D tuning. Of course, now it's technically drop E. There's an open E chord. You can just finger a standard D-shaped chord right here and utilize the low string without retuning and still use all your other shapes. Again, all your scales and all your closed position chord patterns continue to work. The change, of course, isn't as drastic with this arrangement as it is with the what we call the sus4 capo with the 3 strings in the middle, just because if you're playing in drop D tuning, you also have the standard use of the top 5 strings. But there are some voicings that change. For example, you can now play standard G chord. If you're playing in an actual drop D tuning, you're going to have to stretch and play your G chord 2 frets up with the bass string. So again, it can really open up some very cool things depending on what keys you're playing in, depending on what kind of musical ideas you're trying to convey. Everything still works the way it did in standard tuning, and you still get the advantage of some open strings. Now, of course, some of the things, if you're used to playing in alternate tunings, some of the things you're used to might not work. For example, you can play kind of a root 5th power chord if you're in a drop tuning on the bottom 3 strings, and that of course won't be the same as it is in an actual alternate tuning, and you can't just take arrangements that were written in DADGAD and transpose it over to one of these capos. But I really think of it as a great introduction to the alternate tuning sound. It's a really quick way to get to that tonality, and it's really sort of like a third option. There's standard tuning, alternate tunings, and then there's this partial capo thing, which again can give you voicings and ideas that you can't really get any other way. So definitely worth checking out the Shubb C7 and Shubb C8. I have the chrome version here. They also make brass versions of both of them. So check them out for yourself. It's a great, inexpensive way to greatly expand your tonal range on your guitar. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick demo of the Shubb partial capos. My name is Teja Gerken. If you're seeing this on YouTube, come on over to PegheadNation.com to not only check out our gear demos, but also our complete offering of lessons, not just for guitar, but for all kinds of other stringed instruments. And I'll go out and play a little bit more with the sus4 C7 capo in the DADGAD kind of arrangement here, doing a little bit of strumming on the guitar to show you some of the voicings that are possible like that. We'll see you very soon. My name is Teja Gerken.